Hi, Lawrence.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Lawrence.
Very good. Hello, how are you all?
Hi, fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Are we ready to start a session?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much. It is nice to see so many smiling faces, all
Yeah.
seniors like me. This, they say 60 is the new 40. So all of us who are 60, 70, 80, we are 40 years old, 40. 40 in the mind, 40 in the heart. That is all that matters.
Naughty.
40 naughty, right? Okay. So last time, we did chakras and there was a lot of interest in this saying, let's do it again. So I didn't want to repeat the same thing. I like to provide new material. So I had to do a lot of research. Most of this month, I spent most of the last month. I spent doing research. There is so much information on chakras. In America, there's a lady called Anodia Judith. She has written six books on chakras itself. And she has never been to India and she doesn't know Sanskrit. She just reads the translations done by Indian and American people. And from there, she writes out. So there's a lot of material there. And it all comes from India. And most of us from India don't even know about it. So it gave me a chance to learn something. So I thank you for asking me to do more on it because I learned something. And learning is very important because when you learn, you increase the number of neurons in your brain. And there's what is called neuroplasticity. So as the brain grows, growing new neurons, new connections, our whole body gets more enthusiastic, more lively. So our life becomes better. So as I share this with you and you learn, your life will also become better. We'll all grow together and become healthier and happier. So this is a good thing you'll ask me to do. So I thank you for that. So in learning about this, I found out that there is so much in Ayurveda. And I just want to clarify, Ayurveda started like 7,000, 6,000, 5,000 years in the Himalayas. That is even before any religion existed. And they say it came to India from Babylon, from Egypt. And even before that, it came from some islands in the Pacific called Lemurian Islands. So these are special people who existed, who transferred that knowledge to us. And today it is existing in North India, but also in South India. There's Amma, not the same Amma, that lady who hugs all people. There's another Amma in Tamil Nadu who is doing Ayurveda, and he's got these powers of Siddha. Siddha is a very important thing. So I picked up some of this information from Siddha. So the first thing we'll do today is show you a small clip by a doctor named Kulreet Chowdhury. And she's a Sikh, Punjabi Sikh. At the age of 4, family came to America. She became a doctor. And for some reason, she got interested in Ayurveda. She is living right now in Tamil Nadu in a small village with this guy called Amma. His name is Amma. He's a Siddha, Ayurveda Siddha. And she published a book. So I've got a short clip that I will show you. That's the first thing we'll do today. After that, we will do maybe a short sound bath if there is time. If not, we'll do her mantras. Because what we are going to do today is, last time we did just the chakras, So today we'll extend the chakras into mantras because she has got some mantra healing, mantras related to the chakras. So we'll do that and we'll talk about koshas. Previously, 1 or 2 months ago, I talked about auras around our body. We have auras and people can sense that. Dogs, animals can sense that. And sometimes they will wag their tail, sometimes they'll growl and be angry because they can sense that. And some people can sense auras too. They say, I don't like that person. They can sense. I can't do this. But some people are very sensitive. They can sense other people's auras. So we'll talk about it. It is very real. I should think, what are you talking about auras? But it is very real. And there is science. They've got scientific instruments. So what is a good thing today is, though we have lost that ability. The gurus, rishis in the Himalayas had that ability to sense these things. We have lost it. But there are scientific instruments to prove that Ayurveda was right. So there is science to prove that. And they have found there are 5 koshas around the body. So we'll talk about that. So to start with, let me share my screen and show you this short video by Dr. Kulreet. So before I start, she's a regular Indian lady. Oh, there's one more thing I want to mention. There are, in the last 3 months, there are at least 3 or 4 books published on Ayurveda here in America. There's more research happening in America in Ayurveda than in India. People from here go there, they do some research, they come back here, do more research, publish books. And 2 of them, why females, late women. So one is Kulreet Chowdhury and the other is Shamini Jain. And neither of them really are like, Ayurveda specialists. One is a Sikh, the other is a Jain. And they're girls. So a lot of research is being done by girls today. So, when I was young, a girl child was born, they said, oh my God, I got a baby girl, I want a boy. But today, girls are doing more, they're smarter than boys. So, if you have a baby girl or if you have a granddaughter who's a girl, be happy, don't be sad, because they'll be able to do great things in their life. So, so she is interviewed by 2 people, a husband and wife. They are doing sound healing in America, but not with Tibetan bowls, not with tuning forks, not with mantras, just singing. And they have a big client list. So in America, voice and sound is another means of healing besides medicine. It's growing here in America. Probably will catch up in India too. So you'll see this couple interviewing Dr. Kulreet. 1 second. So this is a good recording of a couple of mantras by Dr. Kulreet.
I'll share that mantra because that is I still find that it's the most universal. I wouldn't say it's the most powerful because there are some mantras that are very, very, very powerful that should only be given and done. And I don't include those like in the book, but those should be given and done like under the tutelage of somebody. But this is just like, it's such a profound mantra, and it covers, everything. And so in the beginning, I just tell people like, just read it off. It's okay. And then eventually it starts to get internalized, and you can do it quietly. And then eventually you can, just focus on the different chakras. So Hari Om is actually the sound that begins the mantra. So it's not related to the chakra yet.
Oh, okay.
And it's Hari Om. Then Nam Lam is the first one and those are the bija mantras for the different chakras. So yeah, I would love to share that.
Yeah.
So I always have to close it's hard for me to do with my eyes open. That's Hari Om, Nam Lam, Mam Vam, Sim Ram, Vam Yam, Yam Ham, Shiva Om, Swaha. And so that will literally cover every major energy center. And in the beginning, I tell people only do it for 5 minutes because most people are surprised that things start to move, especially if you're new, to sound medicine. And then increase it to 10, then 15, and eventually only 20 minutes a day. You don't need to do more than 20 minutes a day. It's not even encouraged because we don't want the energy to be flooding the system too much at a time. We want the integration to happen, through your activities. So that is awesome. My favorite mantra to give to people.
No, that's awesome. Let's do one because, a lot of people are potentially driving in their car. They're not going to be able to remember that one. And I'm sure the people will go back and find it. There's some of the simpler mantras that are more deity based at the end. that we might be able to just all together run a couple rounds and then invite the listeners to kind of jump in if any of those intuitively come to you as
there's
something.
One that I really love giving, and just as we had talked about, there's for both men and women, there's a real lack of divine feminine energy, and so that doesn't have to be just like within a woman, it's within a male body. So what you were describing, that experience of that divine female healing energy coming in, and so that the fullness of the divine female energy. So you can use different mantras to elicit different aspects of the divine feminine. So like whether it's wisdom, whether it's prosperity, whether it's strength, but the mantra that encompasses all of the divine feminine energy in its absolute fullness is Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. And so, yes, and you can chant it however you want, but this is how we often do, we'll do it in India, is Om Namo Narayani. Would you like to do it together?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do it.
Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. You can say, like, sometimes we have these very, very long mantras, like for pages, and it takes, many, many minutes to do. And then the Om Namo Narayani, this is the sound that encapsulates all of that in this one little phrase. And then when we do the Bija mantra, it's just literally like a sound that encapsulates even that entire phrase. So it just keeps getting like more and more condensed, but it's the same resonant frequency. Yeah. It's just being expanded. Your entire biochemistry changes. And it's the same like if somebody, you walk into a room and somebody goes, hello, darling, I'm so happy you're home.
Okay. So everyone heard that Om Namo Narayani? Okay. We will do that ourselves later on. And so right now, I would like to do a short sound bath, and we'll do a longer one later on. So let me know if you can hear. I've got 7 bowls here for the 7 chakras. So let me know if you can hear this. Varsha, can you hear this?
No, not now. No. Yeah.
Now? Okay, very good. So we'll do it for just 5 minutes, and then we'll do some mantras, and then I've got a slide presentation. So just a short one, just to get used to the sound bath that we will have later on. So that was the root chakra. This is the next one called the sacral chakra. This is stomach, Manipura, solar plexus. This is the heart chakra. This is the throat chakra. just focus on the sound and feel the waves going through your body.
Lawrence, there seems to be a very low volume.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's happening. Is it any better? Or still low?
Marginally better.
No sound.
Don't know what to do. I think we've done enough of this. We'll go back to this sound later on. I would like to do a short presentation on this notion of the new things that we are going to talk about today, which is the koshas and the mantras related to the koshas and to the chakras too, because the koshas are a whole new area that I did some research on. So let me just share the screen here for a minute. So can you see the screen?
Not yet.
Shit.
Not yet.
Let me try it again. Share screen.
Yes, come.
I've
It's
got-
off again.
Biochemistry changes. So just for people not to be afraid that this is
Lawrence, the screen is
Okay, can you see this chakra screen?
yes.
Okay, very good. So this is what we did the last month. We talked about the chakras, the 7 chakras, the root chakra, the sacral, the heart, and what different things they mean. So I don't want to repeat it. We know that there are 7 chakras. You see this on your left of the screen, and on the right, what they are related to. There's grounding, there's emotions, there's wisdom and power in the solar plexus. Then in the heart, it's love and healing. In the throat, it's communication, where we can talk. In the third eye, it's awareness and intuition. And then on the crown chakra, it's spirituality. So the next screen that I'm going to show is the koshas. Now there are 5 koshas, 5 layers around our body. The first one is just the physical, it's our body, our bones, our skin, our flesh, the blood. That's the Annamaya kosha. The next one around this is related to prana. You know, they say prana is important. That prana is around the chakras, it's around the mind. That is our energy. So there's body and prana, and it's also related to breathing. So breathing is related to prana. All of these things, the mind, the body, and breathing make up pranamaya kosha. One layer around that is the 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, touch. These 5 senses, that plus our ego, our mind, what we think ourselves. Ego is not bad. It's only if we are egocentric, that may be bad. But ego is necessary, because if we say I am this, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a teacher, I'm an engineer, that ego thing is related to our sense of ourself. So the 5 senses plus our mind and the ego make up the mano maya kosha. And this one, this is, with this, if we develop this, then we can know what is real and what is unreal. And they say everything in this life is just Maya. We go through life, and then when we pass away, we get into another realm. Then we know the thing, what we went through. Right now, we don't know what's going on after we pass away. But if we develop this Vision Maya, and some people are able to develop this, like the gurus, Buddha, or maybe Mahatma Gandhi, or certain good people, sort of like Mother Teresa. Some people are able to develop this. Now, we can develop it ourselves. If we practice lots of yoga, we practice pranamaya, breathing techniques, we can develop ourselves to this point where we know what is real and what is unreal, so that anything that happens in this world doesn't bother us so much. And the last layer is Anandamaya Kosha. And if we are able to go from this lowest level, Ana, right, to Anandamaya Kosha, this is Ananda means bliss, peace. Nothing will bother us in this world itself. You know, there's a bomb, there's hunger, there's sickness. We are in a complete state of peace. Nothing bothers us. If we got some problems, health problems, so we can just know that it'll pass away, and we are not this body. We are a spirit. We are consciousness. We are energy. So these are the 5 koshas. These are layers around the body. I've got another picture to show that, 2 or 3 more pictures to give different views of it. So these are very, very real. They have done now scientific experiments to prove that these things exist. Previously we didn't know, and these gurus would say these things, but we wouldn't know how to prove that it exists. So there is a way now scientifically to prove it. That's why it's getting more prominent. So this view is another view of these koshas, and they're showing it connected to the chakras. So they overlap. So one layer will overlap another. So generally the lowest layer, this is Annamaya Kosha. The next one is Pranamaya Kosha, but it overlaps. It's usually between these 2 chakras. After that we have Manomaya Kosha. This is about the mind. Then it's the Vijnanamaya Kosha, where we are at an energy level, and the last is Anandamaya Kosha. That is when we are directly in contact with the heaven, and we understand peace, we understand energy, we understand consciousness. We are living in a state of full consciousness. They are called psychic sheets. So they exist. All of us have them. Some of us, more sensitive or more spiritual, we can actually sense these things. Some of us may not be able to sense these things. I can't. You know, it may take me many years of practice to do that. But if we practice, we can get to that point, and then all these things that are happening, coronavirus and everything else that happens around us, doesn't bother us. We are in a state of total bliss. So this is another view of these koshas. Actually, they are very real because they are electromagnetic waves. Just like you have a cell phone, there are electromagnetic waves going from your cell phone to a cell tower, back and forth. But they are different frequency from the frequency and the size of these waves that are going around the koshas. You know, but sometimes they are in the same, and they could interfere. You know, that's why some people have problems with cell phones or with radio frequency. Some people do, because their waves are interfering with the cell phone waves. But these are very, very subtle, very, very high frequency. They can be measured. They've got measuring instruments to measure them. And they go around through this. There are different layers, and it is called Torus field. That Torus means waves that go from the heart around the heart. Actually, the heart is a very important chakra, a very important energy source. And some religions also show the heart as a very, like in the Christian, there's a Sacred Heart of Jesus, and there's a Indian very famous a singer called Mirabai. She would sing songs about the heart. And there's a Amma from Kerala. She hugs everybody. She has developed a heart chakra, this Torus field. So many people have developed these koshas and are aware of them. So I'll give you another view of it. This is what is called a torus field. Around the heart, there are waves, electromagnetic waves, and these can be sensed up to 3 to 5 feet away from the heart, and they emanate from the heart. And there are, these things called EEG and EMG, electromagnetic encephalograph. The doctors have been using this for years. They are measuring the heart frequency and the heart waves. So it is in practical use today. So these waves go around the heart, and actually there are more messages going from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. So the heart is a very important organ and a very important chakra in our body. So let's look at another view. This is what I was saying, there are overlapping fields. And so this is one person here on the left, there's another person here on the right, and our chakras, our koshas overlap each other. Some people say that the koshas extend through the universe. The final kosha, Anandamaya kosha, it extends through the universe. But the smaller koshas, the pranamaya kosha, energy kosha, it can overlap. And that's why some people say, I don't like this other person, or I like the other person, because their energies match each other. So this frequency, they can be both positive and negative too. They can agree or they can conflict with each other. And this is another view. It's called a Torus man view. There are frequencies going around on the left side. There are waves, electromagnetic waves going around the right side. Then there are some coming from up, from the universe, from Akash. That's called Akashic records. From Akash going down to the earth and going back again. These frequencies are very important. That's we are really frequency, we are energy. And this is another view that we are all energy. The lowest level, the body, physical body, is the Annamaya kosha. So this is the view of this thing. So what she sang, Dr. Kuldeep, she sang the chakras mantra, the chakra mantras. It is these 7 chakras: Nam, Lam, Mam, Vam, Sim, Ram, Vam, Yam. So we are not going to do that because it's a little more difficult, but we'll do this one, Om Namo Narayani. After we finish this thing, we'll do this for a few minutes just for the practice. Okay, can you see me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
very good, thank you. You can see me and hear me. Okay, I hope that that was good. This notion of chakras and notion of koshas around the body. It's very real, and we used to not realize it, but now there's science to prove that it really does exist. So what's next? Let me see what I have next on my agenda. We can do a sound bath for about 15 minutes. If you want to just go into a relaxed position, we can do a 10-15 minute sound bath, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers. Saleh, can you all hear me? Can you hear this? Okay, very good. So just be in a relaxed position. If you want to sit, that's fine. If you're in a place where you have a couch and you want to sort of lie down, that would be okay too. And I will start with the root chakra. This is at the base of our spine. It's called the root chakra. It's red in color, and the note is C. If you're familiar with the Indian notation, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, this is sa. next one is the sacral chakra. This is for our emotions and our intimacy with people. Just feel it going through your body. Okay, thank you. This is the heart chakra. The color is green. And the note is F. It is for love and for healing. And as you're doing this, if you want to close your eyes, that would be good. Take a deep, slow breath. And exhale in a deep, slow way. This one is the throat chakra, the communication, our ability to talk and express ourselves. That is the third eye awareness, intuition that some of us can develop. And this is the crown chakra, right from the top of our head. It is indigo in color and the note is B. So I'll start again from the root chakra. Feel these waves going through that particular chakra and causing a balance. We are actually activating the chakras. Just having energy centers is not enough. You have to activate them. And you activate them by doing the mantras or by listening to these sounds that go to those different chakras. So this is the throat chakra. You have to activate these centers. It's like having energy in the house. If you have air conditioner and you don't turn it on, you're not activating it. So you got to activate the center. Or you have if you don't turn on your switch in your house, you won't get light. So you got to turn on the switch to activate it. The same way we have these energy centers. If we don't activate them, they're not active. We are not using the energy. If you have a stove in your house, if you don't turn on the switch, you won't get heat. Or if you don't make sure there's gas in the cylinder, you won't be able to activate that heat and cook your food. So it's not enough to have the energy center, the chakras, you have to activate them. So this is one way to activate it, with sound. Now the crown chakra. That was the root chakra. So feel that energy getting activated. You activate it with sound, you can activate it with mantras. There are many other ways to do it. We'll do some mantra activation later on. And now the heart chakra. The throat chakra. Remember to breathe slowly deep down in your belly and to breathe out very slowly. around. That was the root chakra. Just feel the energy coming in there into your root chakra. This is the next one, emotions and intimacy and relationships with people. That is the stomach, called the solar plexus, Manipura chakra. This is our power, our wisdom, our strength. Just continue for one more minute and continue your deep breathing. This is the heart chakra. This produces the biggest waves, the largest measurable waves of electromagnetic energy that we can sense others and they can sense ours. The throat chakra. The third eye of awareness. And the crown chakra for bliss and ananda. Okay, if you want to just come back from your meditation or from your closing of your eyes, that would be good. So in this session, compared to last month we talked about chakras. This month we're talking of how to activate the energy. We know we have energy, we can activate it by two ways: by sound healing, there are many other ways you can do it, or by doing the mantras. So we'll do one mantra that she showed. It is Om Namo Narayani. So we'll practice this about maybe 10 times. And my suggestion, you can do it any way you like once you know it. But after each word, take a breath so you have enough breath to say it. Say, take a breath. Om Namo Narayani. So do it, all of us, let's do it together, okay? Take a deep breath. Om Namo Narayani. Second one. Om Namo Narayani. 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 Last time. Om Namo Narayani. Okay, so I just want to emphasize one more time, this has nothing to do with religion. It may match your religion, it may not, but this is pure science. Okay, it's like taking a pill. When you take a pill, it has some effect on the body. you do these mantras, it has some effect on the body. There's science to prove it. So with that, I would like to open it up for any questions and answers. If you have any questions, you'll have to turn off your mic. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay. So what does Koshas do to our body?
Okay, that's a good question.
How does it help us?
Very, very good question. I should have brought it up, but I'm glad you brought it. To understand the koshas, like the heart kosha, now if we activate it, then we are more aware of some people who may be bothering us, and we know why they are bothering us, so we can avoid them. Or we know why some people have the same synchronization or same wavelength as us, we can spend more time on them. Or if we can develop our Anandamaya kosha, then we are in bliss. Nothing will bother us. So knowing that, we can make an effort to develop it by just being aware of it. If you don't know it, then you cannot even develop it. So you develop it or you activate it with sound. There are many other ways that are in the books. I don't know all of them. I know two: sound with different instruments, with your own singing, with your own voice, you can activate it, and you can activate it with mantras. And the mantras you don't need you can say it in your mind also. You don't have to express it. So by developing these things, it's like knowledge. How do we know more about coronavirus? How do we know more about food and vitamins and nutrition? By knowing more about it, we can help ourselves. So by knowing more about these koshas, we can become aware of them and we can develop them. So that's the purpose of that. That is why these rishis found out about it in the first place. And that's why they've got science now to see how we can develop it ourselves. The science is just at a very beginning stage, but the more they are able to find out and share that information with us, we can improve our lives. That's the purpose of knowing about the koshas. It's a good question.
Thank you.
And activating them, it's important to know. It's just like having a stove in the house. If you don't know how to turn it on, how to activate it, it's useless. So we need to activate these chakras, activate these koshas. We live a better life, and then we are not afraid. We don't live in fear. Oh, I'm going to die. I don't have money. I know my family is gone away. I'm alone. You don't live in fear because you live in bliss, ananda. That is the purpose of knowing these chakras and the koshas. So anything else? Well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. I'll see you again next month. Again,
okay,
thank you very much for doing this for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tomorrow, just to remind everybody, we have a session on Moon Health at 11 o'clock in the morning. Please do join us. Dr. Prem's session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lawrence.